Hello, you are listening to the Blue Monday podcast. This is a 3 times weekly audio show looking into the exciting happenings of Ipswich Town Football Club. My name is Benjamin Bloom, and I'll be here each and every Monday for this, the flagship show, with ITFC aficionado David Diamond for a sometimes irreverent but always informative hour of football conversation. So make your Monday a Blue Monday. Dave, you heard my first attempt to do that intro, and the rest of the world is not getting. It was awful, wasn't it?
It was rotten.
If that was like a bit of football play, how would you? That would be like
any of the 46 matches last year that Town played. Maybe with the exception of a case a bit harsh. Maybe the exception of Newcastle and maybe Norwich at home. Not up to your usual standard, Ben.
I don't need to calm down though. Don't tell me to calm down. Everyone's telling me to calm down. I'm fine. Do I sound like I need to calm down?
You don't sound like
telling me to calm down.
How many Pepsi Max have you had this afternoon? Do you have one driving back as well? You just opened one, haven't you?
I don't need to calm down. Every time Ipswich win now, we get 700 tweets telling me to calm down.
We don't need to calm down.
Calm the F down.
That's exactly what we don't need to do.
Dave, would you like to go to South Bermondsey?
That's Millwall, isn't it?
That's Millwall. Do you want to go there?
Well, gosh, yeah. I mean, have you got over it yet?
You did go there. Telling me to calm down. I'm fine.
I wasn't telling you to calm down.
I did the day after Millwall on my own without talking to anyone. I just kept going Spence, just like
Spare. We had there was a lot of tweets that night, wasn't it? I was so glad. If anyone else who listens to the show has just been like walking around doing the housework and just gone for no reason, just gone Spence, just let us know, because then otherwise I do need to go to the doctor and he's going to tell me to stop drinking Pepsi Max. 4-4-2 at Millwall, Dave, as per Barnsley second half. I'm going to give you the team, and then basically, because you do the goals, I'm probably going to hand over to you for about 8 minutes, okay? Because there's a lot of goals. Bart in goal, Iorfa right back, Knudsen left back, Chambers centre half, and filling in the other centre half position, Dave. Spence.
What a guy.
That's a player.
Waghorn wide, Sears wide, Skews central midfield, Grant Ward back in for Downs. David Diamond said, I expect a big season from Grant Ward. He's going to get one.
Yeah.
Garner and David Diamond's favourite player ever, who will defend no matter what. David McGoldrick starts first league start of the season.
Yeah, maybe just a little notch down from Glenn Hoddle, but yeah, one of my favourite Switch players. I mean, what a lineup! I mean, was he forced to go? Obviously, Downs was still injured. Let me think, it was last Tuesday. So much has happened. Was Downs still injured, or was Downs on the bench last Tuesday? I can't remember. He was injured, wasn't he?
Mick said in the press conference, if it would have been a cup final, Downs would have been asking to play. So he was probably like, what did Burley used to say about Dyer? Oh, Kieran's 83% fit. And I'll never do that accent again. It was awful.
No, it's dreadful. But I mean, you've got to love that lineup, haven't you? I looked at that lineup. So the front six: Sears, Hughes, Ward, Waghorn, Garner, McGoldrick. Blimey. Okay, 5 to 6 anyway. My God, you know.
Mick was referring to it as a front five. Millwall, we just need to flag up their excellent front two of Morrison and Gregory. And Dave, do you want to go straight away with a goal? Actually, straight away with 2 goals. Away you go. Go on.
On those two, can we just deem those? Can they just be called the original term, a handful, weren't they? I think is a bit of an understatement. A massive
handful, yeah.
Only a bigger massive handful later on as well. 44 seconds, 1-0. Wallace. Game had barely kicked off. Didn't really deal with the cross very well. Quite a good cross, first up guy. I don't know who the assist was. You can tell me. Got the ball back. O'Brien, who went on to score. Left foot, got the ball back on his right foot. Yeah, good ball in, and we just didn't deal with the ball, did we? And we certainly didn't deal with the second ball. The ball broke, and good finish from, I suppose, Wallace. Bart, no chance in the corner, really. Sort of hit it in the ground in the corner. Bart, no chance. Fair enough.
My normal reaction when Ipswich concede really soon, I normally find
it... fault.
No, I find it funny. It's like, that is just comical. How have I sat down and they've scored so quickly? But
so quickly, yeah.
I guffawed with laughter on 4 minutes, Dave, because this was a funny goal. Go on, go ahead. Dominic Iorfa has got the ball. Go ahead.
Great play from Iorfa. Iorfa wins the ball just, I guess, in his own half, and absolutely takes it forward, but drives the ball at Garner. And what I've got to say about this, the first touch from Garner is absurd, really, because the ball comes at him at pace, doesn't it? Kills the ball, turns, gets on his right foot, then I don't quite know, was it deflection or did it move? I mean, the goalkeeper, I'm not quite sure what happened. The goalkeeper went one way and then suddenly realised the ball was travelling at pace. The ball was then going completely the other way. Got a sort of arm to it, and it sort of bounced. It was a weird goal, wasn't it?
I think given the speed that it actually went in, it must have deflected, mustn't it?
You'd think so.
It wasn't fast enough to.
We didn't have the benefit of the behind the goal view on that, but a great play from my friend. The first touch from Garner just to get out of his feet was brilliant, absolutely superb. And then, I mean, you were there. From then on, from 4th minutes to 34, I mean, the game again sort of, I suppose, calmed down a bit. Were we pretty much under the cosh? Or
No, we
were.
No,
not really for that period.
No, we were fine. All that was happening was that Morrison literally wins everything in the air. Everything. Yeah, he is an absolute beast in the air. And one other thing. Chambers went down, but it's okay. He was fine. He played on. Nothing to worry about there. He's absolutely fine. Yeah. Okay.
Just quickly with Morrison, how were we? Obviously, in the first half, we were dealing quite well with that knockdown there, because if he's winning everything in the air, we were getting onto the second ball.
I guess we must have been. Okay. Yeah. He's so slow though that it's not like people get around him and he gets around the pitch, to be knocking it down in decent places. But really, really good aerial guy. Go on, Dave. 34 minutes. We're going to score again.
I mean, 34 minutes. This is just great play from Ward, and I mean, it was so quick. So Ward gets the ball wide left, and I don't think there's anybody in the box. So he's got the ball wide left on an angle, probably of the box, sort of halfway between the edge of the box and the touch line. Sorry, wide left. What's great about this, he gets the ball, comes out as if he's coming out to swing the ball in, buys himself a bit of time. By this time, players are getting in the box, switches the ball and it's just the turn of pace, the first couple of yards.
I didn't think he had that acceleration, Dave.
No, absolutely brilliant. The first couple of yards there. And you said in the because it was so good, you said later on, I think in your little vid, great left foot cross from Ward.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was a Merson-esque outside of the right foot cross. And what you've got to say, it's just great play from Waghorn to get across his man, first time, bang, in. That's just a great goal in my book. Great goal.
That's the difference with a forward playing in that position. Their first instinct is to get in the right spot. Yeah, I think you nailed that, and you can move on to the next goal, Dave, on 36 minutes.
It's just sort of almost a symmetry between his first 4 goals. Yeah, this is a weird one. Chambers loses out on a challenge, a bit of an odd challenge, but obviously, if he'd been down before, then I suppose you can excuse it. But Chambers loses out on a challenge, an un-Chambers-like challenge that normally you'd win and the ball would be up in the air. Do you know what I mean? Loses out to Gregory. Gregory gets the better of him first touch. Sort of manoeuvres the ball inside. Now, this is a weird one. Because sort of hits it at a crossbar. Not sure it's deflected. Takes a bit of a weird bounce. But I hate to say it. Does he flap at it? I'm not really sure. Appears to flap at it. Gets a bit on it. Then the ball breaks to, correct, who hits the underside of the bar? Ben, it's terrible from me. I don't think it's Morrison anyway, but ball break, could have been Wallace again. Ball breaks, I think, to Wallace, who cracks it across, hits the underside of the bar. Then there's a bit of a comical moment. You think, we've got away with this. And so O'Brien then hooks it goalwards.
Hell of a finish.
and then
how did he kick that?
Spence does a comedy thing, doesn't he? He just sort of like wellies at it, but wellies it in the roof of the net, doesn't he? I think he perhaps... I don't quite think, spoiler alert, it was quite like our second yesterday. I think perhaps if he got something on that, I don't think the ball was over the line. I might be doing him a disservice because he's played so well. But it was a comedy. He just takes an absolute welly at the ball and it just goes in the roof of the net. So a bit disappointing, 2-1, 2-2. And at this stage, I mean, you're there. This is one of them crazy games, isn't it?
Just one thing to add there, Dave. There was no goal line technology. And
that's right.
Yeah, so Adam, the guy who... people will be feeling sorry for him. The poor guy who's got a season ticket next to me this season.
All right.
He told me that he thought that might have been a good shout off the bar. The first one might have been a goal anyway, but
okay.
They had no goal line technology. But anyway, Dave.
Sorry. Can I stop you there just quickly? So I'm sorry, I've missed this. So is there no goal line technology at all championship?
Okay, this is what I've been told. Millwall can't have it on weeknight games because of something to do with the floodlights interfering with it. If I've been bullshitted about that, have a good laugh at me. But if someone wants to Google, maybe I'll Google it when you start talking about something like that. But apparently, there's 3 clubs that can't do it or something or other. I'll have a look. All
right. Sorry. Wow, that's amazing.
So 2 minutes stoppage time. 2 minutes stoppage time. Yeah, everything's going to calm down.
Everything's going to calm down. So you're 48th minute, 45 plus 3 I've got here. I guess for the Chambers injury, I don't know if there was any others, but you said, I think did Chambers go down once or twice in the first half?
Once.
For treatment?
Once, to my memory. I could be wrong about that.
Okay. Yeah, anyway, mate. And this is just great play from McGoldrick. I mean, he wins the ball. On the edge of the box. And this is where McGoldrick's very good, because he's very good manoeuvring the ball when it sounds a bit odd, almost when he hasn't got it. Do you tell me what I'm trying to say? He looks like he's lost control.
Oh, he reads the defender, and he's going to do it to Harley Dean as well. Yeah,
that is so clever. He almost reads the defender's off balance, but the defender's going to get a touch, but then anticipates the touch, so gets past him, gets past another defender, draws the keeper, and again, very, very wide, and just it's great. But he's right on the byline, just cuts the ball back, and again, who's still there? Poacher is Waghorn about 4 yards out, just basically rolls it in, and great from McGoldrick, and it's such a confined space as well. Which
is the better assist, Ward or McGoldrick?
Well, crikey! I think. Oh, you put me on the spot there. I like Ward's just for the outside of the right foot, because you expect that from McGoldrick. To be fair, we all say McGoldrick technically is still the best player we've got, so you almost expect it from him. But from Ward, that was outstanding, just because it was the outside of the right foot.
Okay, Dave, we're gonna quote the Daily Mirror here, right? The floodlights at Oakwell, St Andrews, and the Den are not compatible with the Hawkeye goal line technology system, so will not be operational. Goal line technology was introduced into the championship at the start of the season, and the system requires floodlighting levels in and around the goal area to be specified at lux value. In situations where the value is not at the required level, the system is not guaranteed to be 100%
so accurate. They won't use it.
The same systems have been fully tested to work in natural light conditions. So basically, when you laughed at me earlier...
No, I take it all back. I take it all back. Absolutely, I take it all back. Hands up, as we had to do with Stat earlier today.
Don't argue with him. Don't argue with him.
I'm not anymore. I'm never anymore.
His brain is a spreadsheet.
So if that's the case, so obviously coming into the long winter months where the floodlights are sometimes on at 3:00, that's it for Millwall, Barnsley and Birmingham also, I take it. Okay.
Yeah, but I agree that only use it if it's 100%.
Yeah.
Right, Dave,
so
second half...
Pretty uneventful second half then, really, wasn't it? Till the 80th minute.
So I would like to posit the idea that Millwall played well in the second half. They really... we were kind of kicking and clearing and heading everything away. They really pressed us up tight. I'm not being a smug winning fan, but they played long. They played either... That Gregory's a good player, actually. He just buzzes around. Remember Bob Taylor, who used to play for West Brom and Bolton?
Yes, I remember the Kieran Dyer 4-4 game, but 4-3 game. Yeah.
A kind of quick little guy who just buzzes, kind of like him. Yeah. And then things, as Jim Ross would say, business picks up on the 75th minute when one of my new favourite players, Tom Elliott, comes on. Would you like to describe Tom Elliott, Dave?
Brick shithouse. He's big, isn't he?
Great.
He's large, isn't he?
And so our excellent defence at this point, with only one centre-half and 2 out injured, held out until the 80th minute. And what did said brick shithouse Tom Elliott do then, Dave?
Yeah, it's a good free kick. I think it could be Wallace taking this free kick. He puts it right there, doesn't he? On that that corridor of uncertainty, doesn't he?
It's horrible that is. You got to stop saying that.
Yeah, I know. He's in that area. It's a horrible area. Where Bart, and I've been. Perhaps we've said this before about Bart. If we hate to be critical because we love him, obviously we do, but sometimes his decision making isn't great. And I think looking at that, maybe he could have came with a little bit more purpose for that ball. Anyway, they've got big men in there, and this Elliott is just he's as big as Morrison and about twice as wide, isn't he? Clearly, looks like a boxer.
Is he as big as Morrissey?
Oh, he's bigger than Morrissey. I'm not sure he's as big as Akinfenwa. But anyway, and the ball,
it's the most tenuous reason to mention Akinfenwa.
Yeah,
I know it's always fun, but
yeah, of course it is. And the ball's in there. I say Bart really sort of comes for it, doesn't get it. Perhaps a little bit of players getting in each other's way. I don't know. But the ball breaks for Elliott, and he just sort of like jabs it in, doesn't he? From sort of outside of his right foot, couldn't really miss. So I'm thinking at this stage, looking at our back four, and if we got sent out, obviously we didn't realise at this stage that, well, presumably Chambers was getting through on adrenaline or whatever.
So we will find out. Can I give you just a little bit of in person on that, Dave? And our players shouldn't be falling for this, but Lawrence, while the free kick, he does it on every free kick, stands offside, runs towards the goalie just to try and put the line off. And I think we were just a bit tired mentally, and they were probably just a yard too far back. Then he comes back on side. They put the free kick into the back post, and we fell for. Harris will be pleased because he's probably said, right, every free kick, stand offside, try and get the line back further than they should be. And although if I was an opposition manager, I would actually start to say, no, keep the line high because their goalie is not going to come.
No. Good point.
He doesn't tend to.
So we think at this stage, I'm sure you thought 3-3 is going to be like the bloody Alamo for the last 10 or 12 or time added on. And, we've got to think, okay, a point. That's not a bad point. We said this on last week's podcast, point away at Millwall. Yep, I'll take that. But, it just shows the character. I know it sounds like an old cliche, character and spirit in the side, but we win a free kick in the 88th minute. We win a free kick wide left. And again, I'm sorry, Ward, great delivery, great, obviously, assist for the first goal. This is a great free kick, isn't it? Again, with pace, whips it in. We haven't had this, but, since Lawrence last year, I'm talking about. Whips it in. Are you
going to mention Darren Curry?
Yeah, well, I don't have to, really. Whips it in with pace. And who, our husband of a superhero, Bence rises like a Power Ranger and just diverts it in. It's a lovely goal and brilliant.
Did you ad-lib that?
I ad-libbed that. And
Seriously, you had that written down, didn't you? Spence rises like a Power Ranger.
Like a Power Ranger. And I punched the air as I said it. Like I did Tuesday night when I was celebrating the goal on Radio Suffolk. Yeah, great. He had a great goal. And again, I think, other than there was a very, very nervy moment, virtually last kick of the game, when they got a free kick in a great position. But the ball broke, and fortunately, he was offside, wasn't he? The guy was, I think, it could have been Gregory the ball broke for after the free kick. But fortunately, offside, and that's pretty much it, wasn't it, Ben?
Yeah. The thing I like about it is there's a moment when, like when they signed Spence, it's like, it's a free transfer from Milton Keynes or whatever, and then everyone's a bit unsure, and then you go, there's a moment where the fans really accept this guy, and that's the moment, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
It's brilliant, isn't it? It's brilliant. Did you hear his interview though? My God, he's the most unfootball-like footballer I've ever heard. He's very, very eloquent and quite well spoken. A bit like that Matt Smith, Fulham we've spoken about before. Yeah, very well spoken. Yeah, he came across really well. Yeah, top. And what a player, I think. What a signing, you got to say. I mean,
man.
MK, I mean, what? I don't know. There you go.
Yeah,
there are nuggets. There are nuggets there.
Do you want to do me a little 30 seconds on the Championship midweek then, Dave?
Yeah, I can. I mean, there was a great win for Wolves. A great win for Wolves at Hull. And I don't know if you saw it, but early contender for one of Thunderbars of the Championship season by however he should be doing it. It's from there. It's 15.8 million Ruben Neves. Hell of a strike.
Should be doing that every game though, shouldn't he?
Yeah, man. Every half probably. Thing with that game, huge, massive for Hull. Abel Hernandez out for 6 months, ruptured his Achilles, mate. Wow.
That sounds painful.
That's a bad one. Yeah, that's a bad one. Other than that, Norwich got their first win. Fucker got his first win. Oliveira notched there, and Cardiff went top 3 wins out of 3. As of Tuesday night, he'd yet to concede. Morrison and Mendes Lang as of Tuesday night with his 4th for the season. Other thing just mentioned: Middlesbrough 2, Burton 0. Asumba Longa with no doubt his first brace of many. Other than that, Villa lost at Reading. Oh dear.
Can I just give you Spence's stats?
Yeah.
2 tackles, 5 interceptions, 14 clearances, 4 block shots, and the winning goal.
That's cool. That's That's man of the match stuff, isn't it? If it wasn't for perhaps Ward, I don't know who did get our man of the match. Do you remember? I don't know who got it. Stab. I mean, that was just a great win, and cliche. It's an old cliche, but Millwall is a horrible place to go, and it's a horrible place to go even midweek under the lights. And they are a bit. Although someone I did see on the forum where there was some people saying that it just wasn't as perhaps aggressive. The place itself, they felt it wasn't as aggressive, as intimidating as it usually is, or it has been in the past.
One thing I will say is it's one of the few grounds you go to where all four sides chant, and they do this really weird thing.
Where they come to the den. What is that?
Well, they all just start going, and it's just weird. You're like, I can see how if you were a player, you'd be like, I don't like this. This is not nice. Should we go to Friday, where news trickled out ahead of Mick's press conference? That what I said earlier about Chambers, the indestructible Bionic Man, is no longer indestructible.
It's apparently out for a month, according to Mick. He says there's a lot. He's rocked his ankle, and he's out for initially out for a month. This is Luke Chambers, but certainly out till he won't play. Obviously Tuesday, and he won't play next Saturday. That will put him out till after the international break. So
Mick's kind of talking out both sides of his mouth there, Dave, because he said he's out for a month, but then he said, we'll be looking at after the international break. So I think he just covers his players there, because like he said, Giselle, give him a year.
But to put that alongside, he's already said Smith, I think, is 7 weeks, or Smith and Webster both 6 weeks apiece. And again, another bad news for Bishop this week is had to have a groin operation, for Christ's sake. So where does that?
What did you make of that tweet that Bishop put out? Did you see that, Dave?
It's something like something about the real fans. Go on. Yeah, I did, and I didn't really.
I don't want to misquote him, so I'm not reading this tweet direct. It said something along the lines of "Thanks to those fans who actually still believe."
Yes, believe in me. Yes, I saw that.
As opposed to Andre Giselle tweeting, "Laser focus. I'll come back better and stronger."
Yeah, odd one, isn't it? I mean, it's been. I don't know. You hear and again, you read on forums and stuff like that, and I don't know much about it, but you hear stuff that perhaps he's. Some of the stuff he puts out on social media, I don't follow him. I don't know if you've seen any of it, but it's a bit, I say over the top. I know he's a young professional footballer, but a bit like that. So perhaps he doesn't, in certain situations, he doesn't help himself. Well, from what I understand, I don't know.
Well, his captain said in the programme in the first week, he said, I don't know why Championship players bother with social media. Fair enough if you're in the Premier League and you can make good money out of it, but he said he doesn't see what the point is. So I don't know whether he's trying to tell some of the younger guys.
And it's a shame. We like Bishop. We know there's a player in there somewhere, and we all said, maybe this was a sort of deep lying injury, which explains when he did get supposedly full fit last year that he always looked off the pace.
You make a good point there. Yeah.
So what I did see though is. One of the players we're linked with, so looks like we're hopefully trying to get a centre-half in as emergency cover, because Christ almighty, if Knudsen gets injured or Spence goes down, we're in a bit of thin on the ground, aren't we? We're linked with that Connor Goldson, which was maybe not surprising. He was the player, the young Brighton lad who had heart surgery back in March.
Oh, okay. I didn't... I was going to say, Mick said... after Smith went down, he said, we'll need some help. And he was getting a bit grumpy in the press conference on Friday when they kept...
I didn't see it.
Yeah, when they kept asking him. He was like, look, we're trying. I've watched...
If it happens, I've watched his space.
And we've spoken about this kind of cascade effect. He said a lot of the people we're speaking about, it depends on something else happening somewhere down the line.
You see it, you do see this. It is a knock-on effect. It really is. Yeah, right the way through. These transfers do cascade down for the Premier League, even higher than that. La Liga, wherever in Europe, and you're right. They do cascade down.
Dave, there's nothing higher than the Premier League, according to what Sky tells me. Anyway.
True.
Should we go to So we're going.
Just to finish quickly, just on a bit of possession there, because this might be relevant in a little while. I know it means bugger all. I think we should say 55% Millwall, 45% us reasonable. Millwall 23 shots, 6 on target, and apparently we had 8 shots, 4 on target, 4 efforts. Okay, because obviously a header and 4 goals. That's outstanding.
Well, look, we're gonna talk about this because I'm getting quite grumpy with some of our Brentford friends about this. But
oh yes.
So listen, we go to the Brentford game and we pretty much forecast the team of fullbacks. Yeah. So it's Bart in goal.
You did. Yeah, you did.
Iorfa right back. Kenlock recalled left back. Knudsen is going to play left centre back, and Dave holding his place after an outstanding performance and a winning goal at right centre back.
Spence.
Ward and Skews in the centre mid. Waghorn down the left, was he? No, he's down the right, sorry. And Sears down the left. McGoldrick and Garner up front. Brentford, well, we knew about Woods wasn't going to be there, but Jota nowhere to be seen and nobody knows why, and Brentford have said nothing.
I've seen a story somewhere he's been linked with West Ham.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be about right, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Well, yeah, we like him, don't we? He's West Ham need as Harry would say, they need some bodies in the building. I think.
Yeah, we need 6 more. We need a few more. Yeah.
We need to get a couple in.
Makoto spanks one wide. Bart went for that one,
didn't
he?
Spank that, didn't he?
Yeah,
wow. That was a whack.
Leaped. Yanaris gets one on the edge of the area. He has a touch. He should have hit that one first time, and it gets blocked out.
Stop there. You must preface that with your mate, Yanaris.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of guy, though, am I?
Go on.
You pick that one up. Bart saves from Watkins.
Good save.
Low. It's one of those ones where you say, good save, and then you say, if he'd have scored, though, we would have been, near post. Yeah. But you just expect him to save that, don't you?
Big hand.
So Brentford are push, and Dalsgaard has come forward, and Kenlock bombs one over the top of his head, and Sears gets on it. And I think Sears thinks he's going to get played down the line here, Dave, and he does. If he'd have known, I think he would have gone for goal there. And
I think so.
Waghorn's well positioned.
Good defended by that Barbette, who did something even better in the second half.
Oh God, didn't he? Yeah. Bart does a strange punch when presented with Mapai and kind of nearly takes him out. If he timed that wrong and doesn't really get anything on the punch either.
He did a couple of those, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. Right, let's go to a very peculiar goal that most people in the ground didn't actually see. So you can do this, Dave. 35 minutes.
I didn't see it go in. I mean, again, I saw it. I've seen it since, but a good play from Skews, and he did this.
I can tell you exactly what the ref does, Dave.
Well, I know.
Good play goal.
A good play from Skews, and he does this a lot. He sort of breaks the line, does it? It's very good play, really. He nicks, he just gets his foot in, but takes it away at pace and nicks the ball. I think I saw it. It was bad. So he does, Ben. I'm sorry, yes, he does.
I'm laughing about the best thing about this is when he gives it to McGoldrick and he runs forward into space and holds his hands up and say, "Don't pass."
He's got to play. No, it's honestly true. I think McGoldrick looks at him and thinks, "Oh yeah, I'll just no, I'll turn back inside." That is hilarious because McGoldrick should have played him in. He should have done, really, shouldn't he? Let's face it. I mean, he was all on his own, but yeah, I think he gave him the look.
He made the right call.
Ultimately. So he goes into the box, and it's your mate again. Your mate. He's everywhere, your mate, isn't he? He's bundled over by Nico Yanaris, just inside the box. I'm going to put this one to you. Stonewall, seen him given.
Oh Christ! What do you think? Well,
there's contact there, and
Shall I botch this and say the referee, who I thought was actually quite good and played some good advantage, who was a professional referee who was 6 yards away, presumably thinks that there's no tackle and no foul. Because
McGoldrick, there was contact. McGoldrick was admittedly perhaps was running at pace, but look, the ref didn't give a penalty, and it was an odd one because he certainly didn't wave. Well, he waved play. He waved the penalty.
Yeah, he just said.
It didn't give advantage because that's it, no penalty. And it's really weird, and then everyone was like, going, "Whoa, bloody penalty!" Looking at the ref, what's going on, and then it's him.
Yeah, so unfortunately, McGoldrick doesn't get the assist because a Brentford player touches it, don't they?
Yeah, and Waghorn's like, I don't know. Yeah, clearly, I guess. Do you think if McGoldrick has played it through, has the last touch, Waghorn's offside? Is he or not?
I don't know. I was looking at the ref. Probably not. No.
Christ, probably not. And you can't miss, really. Just touches it in. 1-0. Thanks very much. His fourth goal fourth goal in a week. I mean, I think, again, stat, but I think he's had 4 efforts on target and he's scored 4 goals.
I'm not buying that stat. There's
I know you're not.
Just after he came on against Barnsley,
he goes in blocked,
50-50 on the near post, and then I think people are conveniently not calling that a shot, but he gets.
But hey, not a bad return for your first. Well, he didn't come on till the second half, so first 2.5 games probably. So counting the first half, that'd have been he's played virtually 2 games and got 4 goals. Superb. We like signings like that. We like signings like that.
41st minute, Dave. The North Stand sings Mick McCarthy's name.
Oh, what a fickle lot football supporters are, aren't we? We really are. I
was really pleased to hear that.
It's great. It just shows, doesn't it, that but Benny's got. I still say that last year, and I hark back to last season, he was making the best of a bad job with the players he had at his disposal and the backing that he wasn't really getting. Okay, I cite his signings in January, Danny Rowe, Kiefer Moore. He wasn't really getting the backing, the Garner, the Waghorn type signing, Adiani, that sort of backing. Emma Hughes, he played yet. I still say a lot of it. He's making the best of a bad lot, really, and. That was the only style he could play with the players he has at his disposal. I know there were
great to hear, though, because I've heard Bobby Robson's name sung at every away game, and not Mick's name.
Wouldn't you rather? You don't want that. You want to, with the team, and it seems to.
It's nice that they sing Robson's name, but great for Mick too.
Yeah.
Nico hits the bar here, Dave. Great strike, this one, isn't it?
A rasping shot.
And then, amazingly, down your end, we could have gone 2-0 up.
This is good play from Sears, actually. Really good play from Sears, who, similar to what Skews did, but from further back for McGoldrick's penalty. Gets in front of the defender, chests it past the defender, really quick. Slips in McGoldrick, and it's typical McGoldrick play, twist and turn, gets his shot away. Too close to the keeper, It's a lot of power, and you do see those go in, but perhaps a bit lower, and it might have gone under him, but too close to the keeper, and Bentley, routine sort of block, really.
Does this sound ridiculous, Dave? If McGoldrick goes through 1-on-1 against the goalie, I don't expect him to score. If he goes through 2-on-1 against the defender, I expect him to score, because he'll work the defender and use the defender against the goalie. Do you know what I mean?
Well, we saw that a few times last year. Sometimes when he's 1-on-1 with a keeper, he always wants to take the piss, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? Either we did it. Was it Nottingham Forest where he tries a great run? He's brilliant flick from Lawrence, and he tries to dink it. There was another one where we were comfortable. Could have been QPR last year where he tries to chip it over the keeper and stuff. So maybe that is it. But when he's got 2-on-1, perhaps he's a bit more direct and gets a shot away.
Right, Dave.
Maybe he should do. Yeah.
Are we going to have the possession versus how I'm going to say it, end product debate? Let's do that. Let's do that at the end of the. At the end. Do it at the end.
Yeah. Do it at the end. Are we going? So.
Second half.
So good play from a 50. I don't know if you've got anything for this 51st minute.
Well, Spence has a bit of a half slicey clearance that they sometimes go flying own goals. Don't they?
Yeah, Christ, yes, I do remember that.
And then McGoldrick's gonna read Harley Dean's touch, isn't he?
He reads Harley Dean's touch as he does, burst for the line. I thought he'd actually overrun it, but it's a great ball back along the 6-yard box, probably too good. Good defending, really. I think someone touches it behind ahead of Garner running in there. And it's another assist from Grant Ward. He can't stop. I like his corners, I must admit. A good out-swinging corner. Really bad play, really defensively. Garner's pretty much got a free header there, hasn't he, for about 8 yards. And this is bad play. Again, your man again. He's everywhere. Again, bad, because obviously...
I thought that was a hell of a clearance the first time I saw it.
But then he's standing behind the line. That's not the idea, is it?
Is he really?
Well, the ball's here, so he clears it from behind the line, doesn't he? And he doesn't go back. So he's obviously positioned himself. I don't think he goes back. Instead of being on the line, so if you're on the line, that he's not jumping. The ball.
Oh, I double checked that, Dave, because you know that type of volley where you hit it.
Okay, the ball's behind
with
you.
the outside of your.
All right.
I don't know what you call it, and I can't think of a player who's famous for it.
You would think in that situation.
What I mean? That
I do know what you mean.
Volley,
but you would think if he was properly positioned, this might be being very harsh because there's a good header from Garner. If he's properly positioned, he heads it away, doesn't he? But anyway, so. Fortunately, fortunately, it was it was about 4 in the afternoon on a sunny afternoon, and the floods.
Not in Bermondsey.
Not in Bermondsey or St Andrews or Oakwell.
Oh, good memory, Dave. Well done. You see, I think you never listened to me.
Oh, I hang off your every word, mate.
Very good. Well done.
Yeah, cheers, mate. And and the ref, who we thought was great all afternoon, was very good.
And didn't he signal that well? Yeah,
he did. He pointed to his watch and everything. And it was not really debatable. There was clear, a lot of daylight between ball and line. So 2-0. Whether we deserved that balance of play, possession-wise, solid. I think you said at half-time. We came down at half-time and said, Christ, Ben, they've had a lot of the ball. They said, Dave, goals.
Yeah.
To win a game of football, we need to score a goal.
Dave, it's competition.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? People read so much into it. It's a competition to get to 90 and have scored more than the other team, yeah?
And you don't get points for possession.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. 2-0, so fair enough. And then I thought... Okay,
then you thought Scoos had scored, didn't you?
Oh, Christ almighty, yes I did. That would have put... And that was going in. That was a hell of a shot, wasn't it? I think that was going in, but yeah, good block. And then...
what about Vibe's strange cameo?
Well, Vibe came on. That was right in front of me. Hell of an effort, actually.
Did he injure himself?
Yeah, hammy. Yeah, doing that. Yeah.
Ow,
yeah.
God.
Yeah, straight away. Yeah, it went straight away.
And you get a good bit of Bart here because he's not sure where he is and he puts that one wide. And you did get Bart's strange punch number 2 at this point. Should we blame the sun for that one?
I hope so, because he should have caught that. But can I just mention, there was one bit of play from Kenlock, unbelievable. He tackles, and I've got to mention this guy, Joseph Zhu.
I couldn't say it earlier. Yeah.
He's got 2 Zs in his name. 2 Zs, Ben. What a scrabble. And a J.
Muzzy, is it?
The ultimate oh, there you go. Yeah, I know. You've done me. Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, cheers, mate. And brilliant play for him. So wins the ball. So he tries to sort of step over. Kenlock steps up, wins the ball, and absolutely pings a ball to Garner, doesn't he? Absolutely drives it. Takes out Barbette. And Garner, I don't think Garner's sluggish here. He waits for the ball to bounce, just about to pull back the trigger, as it were. And you got to say, what a challenge from that Barbette.
Tackle.
What a tackle that is.
Yeah.
What a tackle.
It's one of those weird plays where you say, good play by everybody.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't think Garner did a lot wrong. Just waiting for the ball to come down.
Nothing doing here. Waghorn for Downs, so that kind of balances the team up. Needham for McGoldrick. I think that's a good call. Needham will buzz about a bit more. A few people wanted Selena at 2-0.
Keep McGoldrick fit.
Yes. And
then
Freddie, Freddie Sears out and Rowe in. That kind of makes sense. Give Freddie a little bit of a rest. Right. So, we had Dave Lane on from the Besotted Side of West London podcast on Friday on the previous show.
I thought it was me. I thought first 20 seconds was me.
So I've watched their video back, and very much the Brentford view is, Ipswich are terrible, and how are they up the top?
Fuck
and
yourselves.
Everything's the wrong way round, and would you watch that every week? Would you sacrifice winning for that? And it all sounds a little bit
sour.
So we love the B-Side podcast, and we love
Mate,
the
don't get me wrong.
boys, but
I like watching Brentford. They've got some lovely players. They've got bugger all up front, as far as I'm concerned. They've got no one up front. I like them. Yeah, they play nice football, but it's all a bit elaborate and unnecessary. Do you know what I mean?
That's not. I remember actually a rugby analogy. I remember Brian Moore, the intelligent rugby player.
TalkSport,
Yeah, he got asked about expansive rugby, and he said, "What the hell are you talking about? There's 2 types of rugby. There's winning rugby and losing rugby. And
true.
you cut your cloth accordingly. Like you said, you literally you only get points for winning." And then, if you're on equal points, it's down to goals as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And your possession shouldn't be. Your possession should be a byproduct of attempting to score, shouldn't it?
Ben, we all said this. If it was based on possession, Reading would have won the league with 120 points.
Yeah, Reading, Fulham, and Brentford would have been in the top 3. Yeah.
Look, I thought it was great. I think everyone played well. Do I tell you what I'm liking? I'm liking Iorfa a lot.
Yeah, he's grown on me massively,
He is. I mean, I know we joke about it, so he's a footballer. He's a proper athlete, mate. I like him a lot. Yeah. And I thought Knudsen and Spence, I thought Knudsen's best game I've seen him have in an Ipswich.
Yeah,
absolutely super.
We should give Kenlock good praise. He was so bad against Barnsley, and he's come back and done great.
I think Kenlock got the sponsor man of the match, I think.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I wouldn't
because we don't
totally disagree with it.
We kind of have a policy of not criticising the youth players just on the basis that it doesn't feel like the right thing to do. So it felt a bit bad criticising. But he was really bad against Barnsley, and it was awesome to see him.
He was torn a new one first half, was it? Can I just do a couple of stats bits?
Yeah, go for it, yeah.
So 5th consecutive win since the start of the season. I think you saw most of these games, you personally. First time since 99-2000, which interestingly included 2-0 wins over Brentford in that.
Can I just say,
home and away. Yeah.
I've seen all 10.
You've seen what, sorry?
All 10.
Oh, yeah, I guess you have.
Both 5-game streaks. I've seen every single one of those games.
Now let me hit you with this. This will make you laugh. First time since 1974-75, which we've won the first 4 league games. This was the season.
Can I just sigh and say we would have won the league if it had been 3 points for a win?
Hey!
In the same way the Brentford fans were saying, if you got marks for possession, we would have won by miles yesterday.
So you do listen to what I say.
Of course I do.
Can I just say, and these results, it was broken by a 3-1 defeat at Sheffield United, but the first 4 results were we didn't concede a goal. Spurs away, 1-1-0. Arsenal away, so first 2 away games, Spurs and Arsenal, 1-1-0. Burnley at home, 1-2-0. Then a quick fire, Arsenal at home, 1-3-0. And then lost 3-1 away at Sheffield United. And then we went on to win the next 4.
Well, you take that this season, wouldn't you?
My goodness.
Dave, Joe Garner is fantastic, and he's brilliant in the air, and he's a crowd favourite. We agree on that one?
There's going to be a but here, isn't there?
No, love him. Absolutely love him.
No, we do. No, love him.
Yeah, fantastic. McGoldrick, doing good? Yeah?
Yes, fantastic.
Sears, as Mick says, generally when we're winning, he's in the team and he's playing well. So all enjoying that.
Good sign. Yeah.
Ward, great, and he's putting the
I thought Waghorn was quiet. I didn't really. Waghorn didn't. I mean, scored, so he scored. Yeah, but I didn't think he got in the game overly too much.
Let's do some skews.
Can I just point? Can I just reflect on one pass, not the one for McGoldrick, the one pass he played to Sears in the first half, which was ridiculous.
Yeah, great ball. So I'm driving along in my car, thinking about Ipswich Town as I do, and I'm like, I've been quite enjoying skews this season. So I asked myself the question, not out loud, because that would mean I'm talking to myself. I'm like, what's he doing differently that makes I like him? And I kind of thought, well, not a hell of a lot different. I thought in the first game against Birmingham, he was a little bit farther forward. Then I kind of settled on the fact he's not really doing anything differently than last season. So do you subscribe to my theory that he will perform exactly the same in a bad team as he does in a good team, but he's far more useful to a good team because then other people around him...
correct.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, go on.
Ben, I totally agree, and you've hit it nail on the head. He's got exactly what I was going to say. He's got better players in front of him, Ben.
Yeah, and there's less pressure on him to do stuff that he's not very good at doing, yeah?
He's got better players in front of him, and what he has got in front of him is a touch wood, and I'm touching every bit of wood here, and you know what I'm going to say, is hopefully a fully fit, fully fired David McGoldrick. And
he's got 3 assists from the guy standing next to him in centre midfield, 4 goals from the guy to his left, and he's got...
And I think what it does, you know, you're with those players in front of him, he's just got more options. You know, we criticised him last year for, you know, holding on the bar, he slows the game down, but I don't think he really had any options last year.
But he doesn't seem to be getting the ball so much in those positions now. So maybe other players have got other options other than him, but...
I think you're right. We're not so direct. You know, I see the ball wide. That ball from Spence to Iorfa, and he's looking for the little ball down the line and the little ball back inside. It is better. I mean, yesterday was back to the wall stuff, and I always thought with the back 4 we had out yesterday, it was going to be like that. But no, Ben is a good footballer, mate. Sorry, McCarthy. Despite what people said last year, and I don't think we said too much about him on here, but. You know, he's no mug, Ben. He sees this guy, what he does in training. He's a good pro. He's a good footballer. He is.
And I mean, to quote Alex Ferguson, he always would say, "Oh, I had great players," but what else you hear say good management is accentuating a player's strengths and hiding their weaknesses. And it feels like the way the team is at the moment accentuates Skew's strengths, hides his weaknesses, whereas last season completely exposed his weaknesses. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see Cole Skew's play on the left wing anytime soon, Ben. No, it's great.
Did you not have 30 seconds, I said it to you yesterday, where you thought, right, we're going to kick off today and Cole Skews is going to wander behind the two centre-halves and he's going to play sweeper. And it's going to be a revelation. I thought, is this going to happen now?
One of my favourite ever performances by a single player at Portman Road.
Steve
Sedgley? I'm going to say no, Glenn Hoddle. Well, you might know this might have been a bit too young for this. I saw Glenn Hoddle play sweeper for Swindon at Portman Road, and I think they beat us. Correct me if I'm wrong. Stat will be shouting at me now. I think they beat us 4-1, and Hoddle played the whole match like a quarterback.
Lovely.
He was pinging like 40, 50, 60-yard balls from that sweeper role. Brilliant, mate. Anyway, sorry. I digress.
You digress. Before we go to the roundup, you can buy yourself a Blue Monday podcast T-shirt now. If you go to the Blue Monday Twitter at Blue Monday ITFC and you look in our description, there's a nice link to our T-shirts. Dave, we've got King Knudsen Canary Killer, which we sold a couple after the game on Saturday, unsurprisingly. Do you want some Scugglers, which if you go to the legendary... What was he doing? He's got his pants on his head.
He had his pants on his head.
If you go to the legendary Graham Blackburn's Twitter at Naked Footy, and of course listen to his show and subscribe on Acast, he's modelling. I'd
like to think that was post pub, but it probably wasn't, was it?
No, it's probably post breakfast.
Yeah, super.
You can buy yourself, and everybody do the dinosaur T-shirt, which probably we need to discontinue soon, don't we? I think the dinosaurs are extinct, aren't they? There's all sorts of T-shirts on there. Listen, whether you think they're fashionable or not, the idea is that we need a little bit of help sometimes to pay for the podcast. Poor old Dave's just bought a new laptop. We've got expenses and equipment and whatnot. So it's just a little kickback for us. We're not trying to line our pockets. We're just trying to get a few expenses. So if you want to support the podcast, we love your tweets and everything. But if you want to buy a T-shirt, that helps. And then just take a picture of yourself in it, and we'll retweet it. Shall we go to the roundup, Dave?
Let's go to the roundup, Ben.
Wolves won. I'm still not buying Cardiff. We're gonna have this. This is going to be like you were with Brighton, isn't it? Where after about 30 games at 2 points per game, you were like, yeah, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm not buying Cardiff, but Wolves won Cardiff 2.
Yeah, Wolves won Cardiff 2. I think for Cardiff, Ben, it's the manager. You can't look past the manager. He does it. He gets sides promoted.
What about that front three?
Well, yeah, it's a good front three. I mean, a fifth goal for this Mendes Lang, who's actually, it's a quote, on fire. So first place, Zahor was good yesterday. I saw the highlights of this one. Zahor, although he didn't score, he's a right-hand forward, very good.
Forest 2, Borough 1. Contrast Murphy's performance and Assombalonga's.
I'll put here, was it a case, again, this probably sounds ridiculous, do you think it was a case of Assombalonga trying too hard?
I think, I wouldn't say trying too hard. I think it was, and I quote one of my favourite players of all time, Ian Wright, says, you have to go cold, and he's thinking about other stuff when he's taking those shots.
His mind was everywhere.
His mind was
good point.
Over.
Good pen from Murphy, and another goal for that Barry Mackay. Rangers fans are up in arms because they can't score a goal, can they? And of course,
Roy Mackay's brother, he's going for the Dutch caller. But Sunderland 0, Leeds 2. I'm surprised about Leeds doing so well.
Yeah, why?
Well, because Wood's going to go. They've changed manager again, and they're fifth.
They got this guy Saiz, who looks very good. Good finish yesterday. Good header from Dallas as well. Yeah, they're the only other, along with us and Cardiff, the only other unbeaten side, Ben.
Yeah. QPR 2, Hull 1. I still think Holloway's terrible, but QPR 6. And I didn't realise when I was writing this that Hernandez had gone out.
Yeah, just quickly there. Yeah, and they're so like I said earlier, they're going back to Zahor. They're apparently sniffing around him. And just as a footnote to that, I did notice that maybe this is something with a view to what's going to happening with Zahor this week. Cardiff signed the guy who we rumoured to be after that, Omar Bogle, during the week from Wigan.
Yes, and he's probably going to be like their substitute forward. Apparently Hull are selling Clucas somewhere, but I don't know where.
Yes, to someone in the Prem. Burnley, is it someone like that? Yeah, they are. Yeah, I saw that.
Preston 1, Reading 0. Reading suck, don't they?
Yeah, Reading suck. Preston are entertaining. They're 7th, and they've scored 2 and conceded 1.
And Barkhausen you like, don't you? He got the... and Hugo's off the mark there. Yeah.
Hugo, Barkhausen, he looks a good player. Bolton, go on, where are we going?
We're going Bolton 1, Derby 2. Are we psyching the Nuge up for September the 12th? Ipswich fans, leave the country September the 12th. It's Nugent versus Ipswich for the first time this year.
I've just put a brace for the Antichrist, David Nugent. I mean, something else significantly for us, that game, is that Lawrence made his debut, 67th minute sub for Vidra.
Oh, we haven't spoken yet. Lawrence signed for Derby for...
He did. 7
million. Yeah, to replace Thomas Ince, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, interesting. Good luck to him. Love him.
Yeah.
Guaranteed to score also on September. Sheffield United 1, Barnsley 0. What did Clark say to McDonald to get him sent off that Garner couldn't?
It got him ever so riled, didn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know, he pressed a button somewhere. Yeah, good goal, Sharp. Yeah, Sharp on the spot again. Was it 30 goals last year, and he's certainly second. He may even be his third this year. Yeah.
Bristol City 0, Millwall 0 as Johnson starts his descent down to the bottom. Fulham 0. Next week's opponents, Fulham 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. And I've listened to. We're going to have Russ on Friday. I've listened to his podcast today, and he basically described the game between Ipswich and Sheffield Wednesday in spring this year, where they won 0-1. So it sounds like Wednesday are churning out the...
Yeah, I mean, Fulham weird, four games after being were they like second highest scores, or maybe after Newcastle or something last year, just 2 goals in 4 games. They can't score, mate. Let's hope that continues.
Well, Chris Martin's somewhere up in Derbyshire now, isn't he? So
he is.
I think we'll do it in the Fulham preview. I think that was Kearney's first game back, though, so I'm sure he'll be fit and firing for next week. Burton 2... Harry needs some more players. 1.
Needs to get more in.
Burton stabilised. 21st. There they are.
Great goal from Sildell. Did you see it? Turn and shot. Great goal.
You like him, don't you? Villa 4.
Norwich
2.
2. Yeah.
But they've got excellent passing statistics, Norwich. Who's the guy on loan from Southampton? He's got like 90% or something, but they're still 16.
Harrison Ford, isn't it? Harrison Reed, sorry, not Harrison Ford. Han Solo on loan.
How does the Indiana Jones music go? Was that Star Wars?
No, that's Star Wars. Indiana Jones.
Hang on. They all sound the same. I bet they're all by that John Williams fella as well, aren't they?
Yeah, he was. Hat trick for Conor Hourihane, who also got one in the week.
What's your favourite Indiana Jones movie?
Obviously Raiders of the Lost Ark. I hate the second one. Temple of Doom's rubbish. Last Crusade's very good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And you've got a little Kiefer Moore vs Jack Marriott rivalry going on here, Dave.
I've got a little Kiefer Moore Jack Marriott. So we didn't mention Kiefer, who is our player. Alert. Scored a hat trick for Rotherham last week. So did Jack Marriott, our ex-player. Scored a hat trick for Peterborough. And this week they had a face-off, and it was Jack Marriott 2, Kiefer Moore 1 at London Road.
I'm now thinking of face-off with Nicolas Cage and
John
Travolta. It's all campy films coming up. Who's going to win out of Moore and Marriott then?
Ooh, blimey. Well, who knows? Marriott might be sold if he continues at that rate, and Moore might come back to it. Well, yeah. I'd say Marriott, yeah.
Okay. Are you ready for my extrapolation, Dave?
I've been trying to work it out, and I'm not sure I can. Is it the same as last week and the week before?
And the week before that. Ipswich Town are in second position.
What is going on?
12 points. Can you stop? I'm calm. It's fine. I'm fine.
Just calm down.
Everyone just
have a drink.
All right, I'm fine.
Have a drink of water.
12 points from 4 games is a points per game of 3 and a projection of 138 points and first place. Your minutes, Dave, here. You've got 5 on 360 minutes. Bart, Skews, Garner, Knudsen and Spence. Although mentioned for Knudsen because he also played 90 against Luton. Sears is on 359 minutes, so he should kind of be included.
Joe Garner, I hope he plays, will get a suspension at some point of the season.
He will, but what
we love him.
The things that he does that will cause that suspension contribute rather a lot. Anyway, goals. Yep. Martin Waghorn has 4, joint top in the league. Joe Garner has 3, and if you include all competitions, Dave McGoldrick has 3.
We fancied last year around about February time. Lawrence has got 8, and then
Ward's got 4 still, and he got 3 on the first day.
And he got 3 on the first day, and then we were scratching
around. Let's do the assists, Dave.
Oh, come on. Ward must be.
Yeah, he's joint top of the whole league. He's got 3.
Is he?
And third in the league for assists is Jonas Knudsen of Ipswich Town with 2. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, of course, yeah.
He was the first to get to 2.
And with 2, yeah.
McGoldrick, Iorfa and Garner all on 1. Also worth noting that my favourite stats website has Joe Garner as the top player in the whole division, highest rated. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. Well, he wins 7 aerials per game. His pass completion's around 60%, and he's got 3 goals and an assist.
Yeah, that'd do it, wouldn't it? In fact, I didn't really, perhaps that was a testament of how we actually played yesterday. I didn't really see him win that much in the air yesterday. But
this is the thing you don't notice about him. And the thing I've had pointed out to me is that even when he doesn't win it in the air, he forces the centre-half to make a horrible header because he just jumps into them or jumps in their way. So they don't get a clean header, you know. He's
superb, mate.
Great player in the air, that guy. Very, very good.
So, go on.
No, I was just going to wonder how your finances were, Dave.
Oh, you're going to the
NASDAQ.
The NASDAQ, aren't you? God, we lost money last week, didn't we?
With the NASDAQ segment, so you can follow James Dack. I think, God, what is it? James Dack _99 or something like that. Follow him on Twitter. James has money from us to make 2 bets per week. One has to be on Ipswich, and one has to be on the Championship. And we're going to see if the NASDAQ goes up or down through the season. Mm-hmm. He made a flying start, but he's tailed off since. What would happen this week, Dave? James bet on Ipswich Brentford being over 2.5 goals. Loser. Only 2 goals. And he bet on a treble of Derby, Fulham, and Middlesbrough. So the NASDAQ, he needs a win.
Oh my God.
The NASDAQ is down. James, you need to pull one out. NASDAQ is down £16.25. So if you are following James's bets, please stop now before you lose your money. No, I just...
I didn't bet yesterday, but I'd put money before the start of yesterday. There would be more than 2.5 goals in that game. But there you go.
Agreed. So yeah, follow James and follow the bets. He's now got to win it back round. But remember, it only takes 1. Are you ready for the stat of the week, Dave, from the Renegade Stat Man?
It's not about Mick Stockwell scoring at Wimbledon, is it?
Yeah, don't argue with him. Hello. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Hello, Statlanders. Not that Mick McCarthy will be bothered, but I think he has earned a bit of slack from me. You'd look pretty stupid to have a go at the manager when his team have won their first 5 games. As you know, Ben and Dave, I had a £1 bet on Waghorn to score a hat-trick yesterday, although it didn't come to fruition. I am enjoying the newfound optimism. Ipswich's second goal on Saturday was their 800th in the Championship. We've been here forever, haven't we? And it was the 300th goal to be secured under Mick McCarthy's tenure. Add to this 4 league wins at the start of the season, plus the first goal at Portman Road to be given by Hawkeye, and Saturday's game was truly a statistician's dream. Everyone is talking about the number of wins at the start of the season, so I'll not bore you with that. Instead, this week's stat focuses on Martin Waghorn. Waghorn has scored in his last 3 matches, and his coolness in front of goal leads me to think he could extend the run. Let's have a look at what he needs to do to move up the consecutive goal-scoring chart. The last player to score in 3 consecutive matches was Tom Lawrence, or as the guy in front of me insisted on referring to him as Tom Lorrimore. Excellent. There's a guy who sits near me who calls Bartowski.
Yeah, I like Bartowski.
Bartowski.
Yeah.
I love it when fans get our players' names wrong, by the way. I'm digressing. Lawrence scored 5 goals in 3 consecutive matches back in January. Before that, McGoldrick matched the feat at the end of the 2015-16 season and the start of the 2016-17 season. You have to go back to February 2012 for the last time a Town player scored in 4 consecutive games. Michael Chopra scored 5 in 4 games against West Ham, Coventry away, Portsmouth away and Cardiff. That was a strange season. 6 players have scored in 5 consecutive matches, the last being Nicky Forster in 2006. I don't know about you, but I like the diminutive striker. 2 players have scored in 6 consecutive matches. Jerry Baker scored 8 in 6 games, December 63 to January 64, including a hat-trick at home to Oldham in the FA Cup 3rd round. Are you ready for this, Dave? Town winning 6-3. Scottish striker Alan Brazil has also scored in 6 matches from December 81 to January 82. Interestingly, this run only included 2 league matches. 2 players have scored in 7 consecutive matches. Now imagine this strike force. Ray Crawford and Marcus Stewart. Jungle Boy scored 7 in 7 at the start of the 68-69 season, and the gloved wonder Stewart scored 7 in 7 matches in 2000-2001. Wow, we all love Marcus Stewart on the pod, so let's have a look at the games he scored in.
Oh God, this is
my dream, isn't it? Yeah.
You've paid him. Go on.
26 December 2000, Chelsea 2-2. 30th December, Spurs 3-0. 1st of January, Sunderland away, lost 4-1. 6th of January, 3rd round away, FA Cup, Morecambe 3-0. 9th of January, League Cup semi-final. Yes, kids, semi-final. Birmingham 1-0. 14th of Jan, Leicester 2-0 at home. And 20th of January, Chelsea away 4-1. I love the fact that we lost away twice 4-1 in that period, but still took the lead in both games and he still scored, didn't he? But 2 players hold the record for scoring in 8 consecutive matches for Town. Tom Garney scored 8 in 8 back in 57-58, and Ted Phillips scored 10 in 8 in 60-61, all in Division 2. With our unbelievable start to the season, you wouldn't bet on Waghorn challenging this record. Peace out. Renegade stat man.
Yeah, nice one, stat. Nice one.
Ruud van Nistelrooy. Oh no, Jamie Vardy broke it, didn't he?
Vardy scored in, was it 11 consecutive? Was it?
Yeah,
11?
that's top division as well, isn't it? But Van Nistelrooy did 10, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Van Nistelrooy did 10, and didn't Vardy score to break the record? Was that not against? That might have been against Man U actually as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, talking about Premier, we digress.
Yeah, 20th of August, I still haven't seen a single Premier League goal.
Yes,
you like that?
Yes, you have.
I have not.
Bet you have.
I have not. I don't watch. Look, I don't watch TV. Yeah, I only watch stuff on my iPad. And I listen to podcasts. Why would I? Why would I see a Premier League goal? My entire Twitter is all Ipswich fans. So
good point. You wouldn't then. Yeah.
See if I can last. And look, if there's some ridiculous goal on a Tony Yeboah level, I'll watch it. But
you watch it, okay? I'll keep you abreast if there is one.
Keep me David Breast of the situation.
Shut it.
Dave, we've got 2 games this week. Now, the Palace one, we know that Hughes is going to play. We know that Hyam's not going to. And we're 99.9% certain that Gherkin's going to play.
Yeah, that's it, really. Christ knows.
And are we expecting a new defender on Monday or Tuesday?
Potentially. I've got Downs and Neidham and Chelina playing.
Yeah, he won't play midfield 2 of Downs and Neidham. There'll be someone more. It'll be Neidham will be ahead and Hughes will be in.
Hughes usually plays in these games.
Oh no, they need to. I think someone sent us a good tweet today.
Hughes. Sorry, Hughes is playing.
Yeah, Hughes is playing. They said give McGoldrick a rest, give Sears a rest, give Skews a rest. I don't know who else you're going to play at the back though.
Yeah, I've got perhaps Garner not playing, but maybe I don't know. Maybe Waghorn might play as he really hasn't.
Actually up front.
Yeah,
not midfield.
Perhaps. Yeah, don't know. It's just at the back, isn't it? I see Gherkin will play.
Good chance, Dave. Good chance to play Selena left wing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, start him over there.
And I can't go, but you can go now, can't you as well?
Yes, I've got a ticket. Yeah.
Nice one. I don't see Ward playing. Came back he missed a couple of games, didn't he? All right, came back against Millwall, but I see him being on the bench. I see McGoldrick being on the bench. So a strong bench, but
a much much
someone like
starting.
Knudsen won't want the rest though, will he?
Oh, I don't see Knudsen not playing. I mean, he said he played at Luton. Knudsen will potentially, touchwood, could have a Chambers type season.
Skew's played about 75 minutes at Luton as well.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't be surprised he starts with Skews.
Yeah.
Skews and Hughes. So you play Skews and that's it. Skews. Oh, of course, Tommy Rowe might get a
Rowe.
Yeah. Danny, what do I call him? Tommy. That's his brother. That's his brother, isn't it?
Is that bollocks? Has he actually got a brother called Tommy?
Played for Peterborough, didn't he?
Oh, good knowledge. I'm not going to argue with you. I always lose.
Yeah,
always lose with you in Statman, don't I?
I don't know where he is now.
Should we talk about Fulham?
Yeah, just a really sort of funny old start to the season, really. I must admit, I'm expecting a similar game to yesterday.
Dave, I've got a theory. Okay, hear me out. And
hear
our more hipster tactical listeners, I'm thinking Alistair and Joe particularly here. Do you subscribe to this, right? It's a passing team only really starts to get an advantage after about 10 games, whereas these teams that play high intensity, if you look at the top two managers are Warnock and McCarthy, in August, do you know what I mean? These teams like Brentford and Fulham will probably start to get more of an advantage.
Struggle to get into a real rhythm and find a pattern.
Not in respects of what they're doing, but the other teams can go all out at them, and the possession game, as the season goes on and people start to get worn down.
Gotcha.
The teams they're playing.
Yeah.
Is there anything? Yeah. Is there anything to that? Is that? I'm just trying to work out why Fulham and Brentford have started so badly, and Reading.
No, potentially is. It's a good point you make. Yeah, as the season goes on, and McCarthy says it in every press conference, don't he? It's a slog. Saturday, Tuesday.
Tweet us in if you think that's complete crap. But that's just my theory that the advantage will only come in October, November.
Yeah, I can see you might have a valid point there. There was certainly advantage on when we played in Boxing Day last year, wasn't it?
Oh, they're great, weren't they? So Martin's gone. He's gone back to Derby. They've brought in. There's a new guy as well, a new Portuguese guy come in the last game for Fulham. Yeah. Otherwise, it's much
as you were, isn't it? Still got Kearney, although he's been out. Still got Johansson. Have got Aluko.
Yeah, Aluko's a bit all over the place. They played Sessegnon actually on the wing instead of fullback.
Could well be Sessegnon's last game for him Saturday.
Oh no, he signed a new contract.
Oh, missed that, has he?
Yeah, he signed. Both Kearney and Sessegnon signed.
I knew Kearney had. Didn't realise Sessegnon had. Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, they'll just go to Spurs in a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I call McGoldrick fluffy sometimes. We've got to hope that people like Aita and Aluko and Sessegnon are at their fluffiest on Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I said expecting a similar game, but with perhaps but with perhaps a bit more quality than Brentford.
Do you agree with my description that Fulham are like Brentford but with better players?
Yes. Yeah. I'm not sure they've got. I think they miss someone like Martin as a focal point.
Oh, there it is.
But I think they miss an out striker there. But yeah, you sort of worry that. Oh, not worry. I mean, they're 4 games, 2 goals. A team like that are going to probably click at some point, aren't they? They're probably going to play in a cup this week. I don't think they're playing, but they've no doubt most of
I think.
Oh, local derby.
I could be wrong about that, but I think they QPR.
Yeah, it'll be a good game. We always look forward to it. Well, certainly last couple of seasons. It'll be they're nice to watch, aren't they? They've got some good players. But let's hope we can put out similar performance, and who knows, we may have a new face in at centre back.
Dave, tell us about your show on Wednesday.
Yes, this week in Ipswich Town history with me. I actually hosting the show. I've the honour. Ben's handed the torch to me. So I host the show with the Renegade Statman, and we look back on this week in Ipswich Town history, which is out on Wednesday.
And we should have Russ from the Cottage Talk podcast on Friday telling us all about Fulham.
Can I stop you? Did I see somewhere, you didn't mention this to me, were you on TalkSport or TalkSport 2?
TalkSport 2, yeah, for about 2 minutes on Saturday morning.
What is TalkSport 2? Like BBC and BBC 2?
I don't know. They just tweeted saying, "Can you come and talk about Ipswich?" And I'm like,
"Who was
also on the Anfield Rap podcast this week?"
Oh
as well.
yes, I heard that. Yeah, that was quite good. That was quite good.
It's been a great week for the podcast. Yeah.
Who was hosting the TalkSport show?
No
one of any consequence.
Russ Hargreaves and Mark Webster.
Okay.
Yeah. I was only on for a minute. They had a Middlesbrough fan, gave me about 10 minutes, and
cool.
Maybe we'll get back on there.
But what I'm liking is, and it's great, is the love from Colin Murray on the Football League show.
Yeah, and he's a lot better, isn't he? Although he was fierce with Keith Gillespie, winding him up about his betting, wasn't it? That wasn't.
Oh yeah,
that was naughty,
yeah.
Wasn't it?
No, he's. Yeah.
So anyway, we have 3 shows now, so you don't have to do anything other than subscribe on iTunes or Acast, and all 3 shows will pop up in your feed. Dave, you're on the Twitter machine.
I am at David Diamond 3. Just quickly on that, this is a point well noted, that he wound Keith Gillespie up about his betting, but did you hear him say what a £5 accumulator on Ipswich would have won you on them winning the first 5 games of the season?
I thought it was low, actually. I thought it would be more than.
I thought 1,250.
I thought he was going to say like £250,000.
No, exactly. Yeah. I thought that was very low. Exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, at David Diamond 3 at Twitter.
Yeah, my dad's brother John would say, "You don't see a bookmaker riding a bicycle," is what he would say at that point. Yeah.
You don't.
I'm on the Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. You can also subscribe to me on YouTube, where you will find my excellent series of BlueTube videos reacting to Ipswich's games, which have proven to be a very popular little thing alongside the podcast. So please go to YouTube and subscribe, Benjamin Bloom, and you can, be mean to me on there like people do. And most importantly, though, follow the podcast on Twitter at Blue Monday ITFC. It's your turn to do the sign-off this week, Dave. I promise I'm not going to sneak in the last word.
Okay, there's someone. Hang on, there's someone texting me. What is that? Oh, right. Okay. Everybody just enjoy it. Really, don't calm down. Whatever you do, do not calm down.